Dr. Sanmeet Kaur from Thapa University, Patiala. Today we will learn about the cryptography and information security, Module 1. In this video, we will talk about the CIA triad and the various attacks threatening CIA. The basic elements of security are confidentiality, integrity, and availability, also known as CIA triad. The confidentiality is basically the element of security which is responsible for preventing the unauthorized disclosure of the information to third parties. The integrity is the prevention of unauthorized modification of the resources and maintaining a status quo. The availability is basically to prevent the unauthorized withholding of system resources from those who need them. There are various aspects of security, and the main ones are security attacks, the mechanisms, and the services of security. In this video, we will simply talk about the attacks pertaining to security. The attack is basically an assault on the system security that derives from an intelligent threat. This is basically a deliberate attempt to evade the security services or violate the security policy of the system. And three categories of attacks would be discussed pertaining to confidentiality, attacks threatening integrity, and availability. This diagram shows the detailed view of the various attacks. The threats to confidentiality includes snooping and traffic analysis. The threats to integrity includes modification, masquerading, and replaying. And the threat to availability is denial of service. We will take them one by one and understand what these are. The confidentiality threat number one is snooping. Snooping refers to unauthorized access or interception of data. This can also be called as release of message content. This is done by the attacker in an unauthorized way where he or she actually sniffs the data and then see what there is. The second type of confidentiality attack is traffic analysis. Here, the data is not being read, but the analysis of the traffic patterns are monitored from the online traffic. Then comes the attacks threatening integrity. These include modification, masquerading, replaying, and repudiation. Modification means the attacker attempts to intercept a message and change it. The masquerading or spoofing is basically an attempt by the attacker where he or she impersonates himself or herself as somebody else. It may include MAC spoofing, IP spoofing, ARP spoofing, etc. The next one is replaying, where the attacker first obtains the copy of the message sent by the user and later tries to replay it. It may be some password or some session key or something like that. Then comes the repudiation. The repudiation is the denial by the sender or the receiver that he or she has sent the message or received the message. These all attacks comes under the category of integrity. Next are the attacks threatening availability, and the major category of availability related attack comes under denial of service or distributed denial of service attack. This is very common attack. It may slow down the system or totally interrupt the services of the system, and this is quite difficult to detect also. Then the next category of attacks, the attacks can further be categorized as active or passive attacks. The passive attacks are those where the goal of the opponent is to obtain the information that is being transmitted and no modification or deletion of data or information is being done here. The examples here are release of message contents or snooping and traffic analysis. In the release of message content, the sender is sending some data or information to the receiver, and the attacker is quietly sitting and reading those contents. This is a passive attack. Next is the traffic analysis. Here, the sender is sending some data to the receiver. The attacker is not understanding or not reading the data, but is simply observing the type of traffic which is being transmitted through the line. So it may be some HTTP traffic or P2P or SMTP or whatever type of traffic is being sent, those traffic patterns are observed, and later on some decisions or the information about the organization is taken from that analysis. Next is the active attacks. In the active attacks, it may involve some kind of attacks which are doing some modifications of data stream or creation of false stream. And these can be further categorized as masquerading, replaying, modification of messages, and denial of service. Masquerading, as I just told you, that is the activity where somebody is impersonating as someone else. So here we can see that sender has to send the data to the receiver, but the attacker is appearing to be the sender and then sending the data to the receiver. So it will be difficult for the receiver to guess where the data has come from. Why? Because the credentials of the sender was stolen by the attacker and misused while sending the data. Then comes the replay. It is also an active attack. In replaying, the sender is sending some data to the receiver, and before it is being sent over to the line, the attacker will actually capture the data and then later on replay that data to the receiver. Then comes the modification of message. In this attack, the receiver will receive not the original message, rather the modified message, which was actually being intercepted while transmission by the attacker, modified and sent again. The denial of service attack prevents the normal usage of communication facilities, and it basically overloads the system with many requests which will actually hinder the normal usage or services of the system. And here in this diagram we can see that the attacker is sending multiple requests to the server and Bob is denied, or the actual user is being denied of the services of the server. This table categorizes the active and passive attacks, and we can very well see here the attacks related to confidentiality falls under the passive category. These attacks are snooping and traffic analysis, and the attacks related to integrity and availability, namely modification, masquerading, replaying, repudiation, and denial of service, falls under the category of active attacks. Thanks for watching this video.